Kierra Jones, and I am the owner and lead stylist of the KJonesCollection.com. We're an online fashion, jewelry, and accessory boutique catering to women in business. So today, this scope is actually the kickoff. Hi, MD Confidence. How are you? Modern day. That's Dorothy. How are you? Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. So this scope is actually a kickoff to 4 days. So I'm doing 4 days of live scoping today through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's not going to be long. Oh, thank you. You too, beautiful. So it's not going to be long, probably 20 minutes or so, depending on questions and engagement. And the topic is all about business conferences. So like I said, we are an accessory boutique and I cater to women in business. So these are women who are chic, who are sophisticated, who are professional entrepreneurs, and they want to look good, right? Accessories is an easy way to enhance your outfit. Thank you so much, Dorothy. And so basically this stemmed from, I had a lot of customers who, said, hey, I'm going to, I have people who are in direct sales, so they're going to a lot of their direct sales conferences. And let me know if you guys can hear me okay. They're going to their direct sales conferences. They are going to, business conferences. Like I'm in the Savvy Business Owner Group with Heather Crabtree, and she has the Savvy Experience coming up at the end of August. There's the summit coming up. There's a few things. There's a lot going on. So I had customers tell me, hey, how can I use your accessories for the conferences? And beyond that, how can I make sure that I'm not stressed out when I'm going to a conference? So my background, I'm the owner of, thank you. So like I said, I'm the owner of the boutique, but I actually have a hospitality and tourism background. So I come from a background of working in hotels and country clubs, and I actually have planned several conferences, including a conference for 500 people. So and my best friend is a wedding planner, and I kind of helped her. Hi, Doe26, how are you? Say hello. And so I planned a few conferences, and I'm familiar with the extent of how the schedule goes and whatnot, and I'm always surrounded by such, great women. Oh, thank you. Such great women. So I want to talk about, your style for conferences. And the reason why this is really important, your personal style is important any day, whether you're going to a conference, you're having a business meeting, whatever it is. We really are our walking business card. Like I say that all the time because it's so true, and I think people really get the impact when I say it that way. When you walk out the door, you're representing your business. You never know if you're going to meet your next client in the grocery store. I've met people while I was just, getting frozen yogurt, and, they asked me, what am I wearing? There's so many different scenarios of how you meet your next client, potential business partners, and so you always want to make sure that you are presenting yourself, your best self. And it really starts inside out, right? Confidence starts inside out. So it's how you feel about yourself, and when you look good, you feel good, and like I say, when you feel good, amazing things can happen. You're unstoppable. So personal style is extremely important when you are going to these networking events and to conferences, because one, you want people to remember you for good reasons, right? I got a quote from an entrepreneur who said, I want people to remember me because I looked good, not because I didn't look good, right? You don't want to be that girl. So you want to make sure you're classy, you're chic, but you're also showing your personality, right? So I'm bold, I'm fun, so I like to play around with colorful nail polish, but lipstick, and hey Dorothy, you're back on, and or you shared, I'm sorry. Yeah, make sure you guys do share this. If you feel that you have biz besties who would love this, ladies in in your circle that would love this, that would appreciate this information, please do share. I appreciate it. And if you like what I'm saying, make sure you tap and give me some hearts. So I'm going to get right into it. So day one is going to be all about how to prepare before you start packing for the conference. Day two through 4, actually, I'm going to move into more specifics on separating the most popular types of occasions that happen at a conference, and some specific style inspiration for you to have, from your wardrobe to your accessories to other things, to make your life easier. Because I know after all, you're busy, right? Before you go to a conference, you're probably happy. You're getting a few days away from the kids or the husband or the house, whatever, but you're trying to schedule your social media, and you're trying to do so many things so that while you're gone, your business can kind of run itself. So let's get right into it. And I do have a couple notes, so excuse me if I look down a little bit. But the first thing that I want you to do, there's three. So one, I want you to review the schedule, right? So as an entrepreneur, we became entrepreneurs for freedom, right? So we don't want a dress code, right? But there's still a level of, professionalism and, looking well put togetherness. That's my own word that you want to have. So, make sure you review the schedule. So I went to a retreat. I usually go to one or two conferences a year. And so I went to a retreat last June, actually. And so we actually did yoga in the morning. And it was all about mindset, right, to start our day off right. So we did yoga. And so had I not looked at the schedule, I would not have known that I needed to make sure I bring yoga pants and, a sports bra or whatever it is that I need to bring. So make sure you look at the schedule so that you can see what type of occasions are happening, and that will determine how many outfits you need and then what type of outfits you need, right? So that you're prepared. And so let's talk about that. So typically, and this is really like if you're new to going to conferences, if you're a new entrepreneur, this is really great for you. So typically conferences are about 2 to 3 days, and some can go to 5 days. Hey, how are you? Tell me your first name so I can call you by your first name. Thanks for joining too. And so I'm talking about preparing yourself for conferences, so women style for conferences. So I'm talking about 3 things that you do before you start actually packing. Number 1 is review the schedule, know how many events there are going to be, what attire should a woman wear to a conference. That's exactly what we're talking about. So just to recap for you, so I'm doing 4 days at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for about 15-20 minutes this week of what women should wear for conferences. This is day 1, so I'm kicking it off, so make sure you stay tuned. If you go inside my profile, there's also a link to the blog post that talks a little bit more about this if you want that information a little bit quicker, but in depth I'm going to go here in the video. And so first day I'm talking about what to do before. So before you even decide what you're going to wear, you got to know how many events there are and what type of event. So usually they're 2 to 3 days, and then some can go to 5 days, right? But typically 2, 3, maybe even 4 days. And so maybe you are, hey, how are you? Thanks so much for joining. Typically they can go from having sometimes you're traveling in the morning and then you get in and then you might have some kickoff meetings, or you just have a travel day and then the next day kicks off your meetings. So, that would determine, okay, so you need a travel outfit, you need an outfit for the first day if you want to change. Tomorrow I'm going to talk a little bit more about what that travel attire can be so that you can wear that into the conference. And then you want to have, however many days of conferences are, you want to have an outfit actually 2, in my opinion, for each of those days. And then that kind of gets us into what type of occasions or what type of events are happening at these conferences. So usually there's like a kickoff meeting, and then there's the bulk of the meeting is going to be meetings, it's going to be presentations, so you're going to be doing a lot of sitting, so you want to have something that's comfortable and easy for you to sit in. And so that's the bulk of the conference, is the meetings and the workshops and all that. And then you move on into the casual events, which is what I love. And those are like, so I was at a conference and, it's all day long, and you get to your room and you kind of want to have 5 minutes to sit down. And then you get that phone call like, hey girl, you want to go grab a drink, or you want to go sit by the pool? So those are like those casual moments. And then usually also there is a casual dinner sometimes, some days of the event. So that would be a time where you might want to do jeans or have a maxi dress or something like that. And I'm going to get into specifics, don't worry, but letting you know how you need to prepare before we get to actually packing. And thanks for the hearts. Make sure you keep them coming. And then the third main type of event that usually happens is, a dress-up day. Usually it's like a celebration. So this could be on the first day of the event, or it could be on the last day. For events that I've been to, conferences I've been to, it's on the last day, but I've seen them also on the first day to kind of kick it off. And that's a time for you to celebrate your wins and your successes. Maybe it's an award ceremony or recognition ceremony or whatever. And so that's a time where you want to be a little bit dolled up. You want to dress up a little bit, bring out your bling. And so those are the 3 main type of conferences. And so the second point I wanted to bring is, this is my easy outfit formula. So for you guys that were asking, what exactly do I wear? So this is kind of a sneak peek into that, and then I'm gonna have actual examples for you throughout the week. And so my simple formula for packing, and this is really for anything, is it's really, really easy. It doesn't have to be hard, doesn't have to be overwhelming. So you're going to do one of 2 things. You're going to have a top and a bottom, or you're going to have a dress and possibly a jacket if you want it, right? So that's like the bulk of your outfit. I know that makes it sound easy. There's a lot of other, you know, details that go on besides that, but if we're really starting from the basics, it's really top and bottom or dress. And, you know, if it's the winter, maybe a jacket. If it's the summer, you probably don't need a jacket, although, this is a side note, conference rooms are really, really cold. They are cold, and I get freezing. So this is my trick. I actually bring a scarf. That, you know, a scarf you would wear in the winter. I actually bring that with me to put it over my shoulders like a shawl. And I like a scarf because I can roll it up and I can fold it really, really, really small to fit into my purse when I'm on the plane. And that way I can, you know, have it on the plane. I can have it in all the conference rooms and it can fit in my bag. Jackets sometimes, you know, they're usually kind of a little bit bulky, and unless it's like a light sweater, and then they kind of, you don't want to wrinkle it if it's a blazer. So I just like having my scarf. But that's just a tidbit for that. So back to the formula. So you have your top, your bottom, your dress, and or if you want a jacket. And then you accessorize, right? You have your shoes, and then you have your accessories. And for accessories, only 1 or 2. That's it. And we're going to get into, you know, a little bit of details on the accessories part because that's my specialty. And then, you know, just some, and let me know if you have more questions. I know I'm kind of talking fast. I like my scopes. Well, this is my first scope, but my envision is that, you know, these are going to be like quick. I know you guys are busy. You don't have time to sit and hear me for an hour, hour and a half. Now, if you have questions and we're here for that long, that's a different story, but I want to make sure that I'm, you know, getting to the information that we need to get to. So the third thing, if you guys don't have any questions on that, is you know, other things, random things to, you know, make sure that you're doing before the conference. And so these are things kind of outside of style, but they're really important, so I wanted to make sure I mentioned them. So obviously you need to have your business cards. You need to make sure you have a 30-second pitch. That's you know, when you never know who you could be sitting next to in the airplane, right? You never know who you might be in line with at the airport. You never know who you're going to meet, like when you checking into your hotel, and there's usually, like for me, there's usually a long line because there's like hundreds of women coming to this conference, and there's usually a line, and so you, hey, I'm Kierra, what do you do, or, you know, whatever. So you want to make sure you have like your spiel of like what you do. It's clear, it's concise. And so that's your like pitch, your business cards, and hey, how are you? Let me know your first name so I can, you know, say hi. Thanks for joining. And so, you know, those are a few things you want to have. Random things that I usually like to have are things like a leave. So that's my, you know, headache medicine of choice, but you probably definitely want one. It's long days. You want to make sure you definitely have comfortable shoes because you're going to, most likely it's in a large property, and you're doing a lot of walking, a lot of running around, and so you want to make sure you have comfortable shoes. And then you also want to make sure that as far as your business goes, that you are leaving it in a situation that it can handle itself while you're gone. So those are just a few tips of things to do before the conference. Again, this will primarily be focused around style, but I just wanted to throw those out there for some of our newbies. So that was like really quick what I have prepared for you guys. We can go back in depth about that outfit formula. Let me know what you guys think about that outfit formula. If you think that it's something that would help you, do you want more details on that? And for day 2, I'm going to be going in depth on the bulk of the meeting, which is what do I wear to the actual business meetings, to the you know, workshops, and to all of that. And we're going to talk about that. I'm going to use that formula to help put some things together, right? A sneak peek into that would be, I recommend and I like having a lot of solid color blouses because I can bring a few of those, and I can bring, you know, a dark pair of pants. Maybe I'm loving the ankle length pants right now, so I have like a pair of red ones, I have a pair of blush pink ones, and yes, you can wear those colors very professionally. And then, you know, obviously you could have black ones, navy ones are great too, maybe have some pencil skirts, but you can pick 1 or 2 bottoms to pair with like a few different tops. And so that's one sneak peek into tomorrow that I'm going to talk about. And then we'll talk about, you know, accessorizing them and whatnot. And then on day 3, which is going to be on Thursday, I'm going to dive into dressing for more of those casual events. And so what I really love about day 2 and day 3 is a lot of people say, oh, I need to have 2 outfits per day. And I know someone who said they needed to have 3. You don't necessarily have to do that. if you go from, I was just going to ask, how do you feel about colors and patterns? Oh gosh, maybe that needs to be a whole day. But my really quick answer is, I love colors and I love patterns, okay? How can I sum this up really quick? Because we will talk about this a little bit more. So if you're starting with the pattern, this is my advice. Let's say you have, you know, a skirt, like a floral print skirt, okay? So it's like maybe a blush pink and obviously green, maybe some blue, maybe some teal or something in there. So there are two things I recommend to do with patterns. One is pick a color that's inside of that pattern and highlight that, right? Okay, so if we had a skirt, a floral skirt that was like a blush pink, there was some green in there, there was some teal, maybe some navy blue or something, we could take out, I'm just going to say the blush pink because that's one of my colors I'm loving right now. So we could take that and we could get like either, you know, like a silk, depending on how the skirt is. If it's like a pencil skirt, I really like doing like peplum tops with pencil skirts. I think it shapes the body really well. I love A-line skirts for any body type, and you could do that like with a shirt tucked in, maybe a belt, maybe not, depending on how you feel. But to get back to your question, so I would take a color that's inside of the pattern and highlight that. So like I said, if it had those colors that I mentioned in there, maybe you do a blush pink top with it. And then as far as accessories, you could do a few different things. You could do, again, a different color that's in that top. So maybe if I had like a blue necklace, excuse me, or I love multicolored necklaces for that exact reason. That's actually our accessory of the week. I love them because they help you highlight color, you know, multiple colors in your outfit. So one, pick a color that's in the pattern, or two, pick a color that is not in the pattern but complements it really well. So, you know, white is a good example, right? If I had, you know, I don't know, if I had like the same skirt, you know, let's say the pink, the what colors did I have in there? What did I have in there? Pink, green, blue, and I forget what other color that I had in there. I can't believe that. So then you could pick a color that may complement that really well. Like I have a customer who does a lot of like black and like mints in her wardrobe, and she had a skirt that was black and mint, and I think it may have had like some white in there or something like that. And then, you know, I suggested to her, hey, let's put like a hot pink shirt on with that. So hot pink isn't in that pattern, but it complements it really well. So that would be my advice on the patterns. Would be one, pick a color that's inside of the pattern and go with that, you know. And then as far as accessories for that too, I wanted to mention, you can stick with your gold. Like I have on silver. As I scope a little bit more, you guys are going to learn, gold is my color. Like gold is my color. I love gold. And so I usually don't even wear silver, but I love this necklace. So that's why I decided to wear it today. But, you know, you could do a gold or you could do a silver, you know, with that look. You can do it with either look. So did that answer your question, Dorothy? Putting the wearing patterns with either a color that's in it or a color that's not in it but complements it really well. So that's actually a tip that I would give for accessorizing in general. A lot of women like get really nervous about accessories. They feel overwhelmed. Me too. I love gold. Yeah, it definitely fits like at least my skin tone and your skin tone. It fits really, really, really well with the warm colors. What was I going to say? Oh, the accessory tip. Yeah, that was a tip I always give to customers is when I'm in my pop-up shops, actually, I walk them through like, you know, tell me what you have the most in your closet, and then let's find some colors that complement that, right? So it gets you one out of your like same color funk of you wearing the same exact colors over and over, but two, it also allows you to have a little bit more, you know, variety and brighten up your wardrobe a little bit. So great question. Thank you so much. So that's all I have prepared for you guys today. I'm really, really excited. If you want a sneak peek into the rest of the blog series, the style series, excuse me, trying something new. Exactly. Trying something new is so important. And I think that's why a lot of women get bored in what they do, is because they know that, okay, I look great in black. Or I'm not going to even say black because black gets a negative like there's a negative viewpoint on black. I don't think there's anything wrong with black. You just have to, now black is a color, black and white are colors you really have to accessorize, but that's a whole nother scope. But yeah, people get used to doing the same things because they know that they look good in that, and then they just stick with that. Or I know people who, you know, if this top looks great on me, I'm gonna get this top in every single color. Now you have to applaud them because yes, I mean, they're adding color into their wardrobe, which is great, but at the same time, you don't want to have the same styles all the time. And even I do that sometimes, but I definitely try to mix it up. So it's definitely a challenge, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it together. That's why they have us, Dorothy. So, okay. All right. So if that is it, then I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Just a simple recap. So tomorrow is going to be about, tomorrow's going to be actually a little bit more a lot more in depth. So we're going to go through that formula I gave you of the top, bottom, or dress, and then shoes, and 1 or 2 accessories. We're going to go through that and have some examples of what you can wear for the meeting portion, which is the most important portion of the conference. So be sure to join us here at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, and visit my profile. I have a link to the blog so that you can get a recap of what we talked about, and then also a few other details that will be going through for the week. And then I'll have some visuals when we get here in the Periscope. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 6. And for my replay viewers, excuse me, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Dorothy, and everybody else who joined. I really appreciate you. And I'll check with you guys tomorrow. Bye.